people.
Right.
That's what the technology will do for us, but you can't just send out emails and say, you know, I made $64,000 in my first 3 minutes in the business. Join me. You know, I got one the other day. I made $64,000 in 24 hours. And my comment is, does anybody really believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing, the hype and the lies that give the industry the unrealistic expectations. If you treat it like a real business, that it's a 2 to 5 year build. I mean, that's the reality. It's not, you know, a 40-year build. We were just recently in Reno doing a training, and a friend of mine, same age as I am, and he said something like, Sandy, do you realize I worked over 40 years at my job? 40 years, and my Social Security check is $1,100 a month after 40 years. Right. And he's in our company, and in a few months, making $500 or $600 a month part-time.
And having fun.
What's he going to do? Oh, so when you put it in the realistic perspective, right, that most people work at their job or profession their entire lives, and when they're ready to retire, what happens? They can't. They just don't have the financial wherewithal to do that. This industry offers people what I call POM, peace of mind.
Well,
but it's again,
yeah, multi-million-dollar earners like you chuck gold out all the time. If people will just listen to people like you, and you, absolute platinum here is it's a great tool, but it won't build your business. And it's just the lazy or the unrealistic that think, I'm going to buy this website and it's going to automate everything and I'm just going to cash checks. So there you go, folks. A huge piece of gold from a multi-million-dollar earner who's obviously progressive and leveraging the internet is telling us it's a tool to maybe accelerate some of that stuff, but it is person to person. Key question.
Of course, because think about that, Mark. I mean, for people that used to send out packages, I mean, I haven't sent out a package in 7 years now that the internet is available. And I don't know about you, but I never once got a commission check from the post office. Never once. Years I spent giving them money and driving to the post office. You don't have to do that today. But again, it's the face-to-face, it's the conversations, it's building that friendship, the relationship is what it's all about. And it's about helping other people and making a difference in their lives.
Knowing what you know now, you know, all your experience, and you kissed a few frogs just like I did in network marketing. You found the right company. Knowing what you know now, assuming that you've picked the right company, what would you do differently or advise somebody that's starting now? They've followed your sound advice of making sure that those 4 criteria are met. They're with the right company. They've picked a good upline. And what would they do the first 30 days in the business? What would you do differently knowing what you know now once you were with the right company?
Well, according to the DSA, which is the Direct Selling Association, to which all good companies belong, and there's some hard realities in this business, and you have to understand that. Somewhere between about 80% of people, that means 8 out of 10 people within 90 days are in the WPP, which I call the Witness Protection Program. I mean, they're disappeared. They're gone. Now, why is that? And I think there is not enough of the fundamental understanding of realistic expectations. Explaining to people that this is a business we're going to build together, because you don't do this by yourself. When you come in, you must plug in to the leadership. You must plug in to whatever systems that they have been using that is working. Don't change anything at all. And if you do that and utilize what they're doing successfully and be a student, be a sponge, I mean, just understand that there's a learning curve. It's just like if I decided I wanted to be a brain surgeon. You know, I get up one day and say, I think I'm going to be a brain surgeon. Mark, I'm going to start tomorrow. Can I use you as my first patient?
Right.
No, there's a huge learning curve and an apprenticeship, and you have to intern, and you have to go to special. It's like 16 years or whatever of education before you earn dime one.
Right.
So if people understand that the skill development can be accelerated because the tools on the internet are available, and there's certain trainers that I adore that will accelerate your learning curve. So when I'm working and coaching people, because we're in the second wave of our business right now.
Sure.
In fact, I'm just starting 3 brand new legs, and I'm looking for key people that want to be coached, that want to be mentored, that have a dream, and will commit to the learning process. So get into your company, introduce yourself to the entire support line. So they know who you are. You ask them how they like 3 ways done. You attend every event, because events are not negotiable.
Right.
It's events that will take you to the next level, and your company should have at least 3 or 4 events a year to have you recharged and regenerated and re-educated. The business is so simple, Mark. It is so simple. There isn't anyone that can't have success if they just do enough of the right activities. I call them the 3 A's: actions, activities, and accountability.
Yes.
And you should have an accountability partner that you report to every single day. And it's not a conversation about how are the kids and how you feeling. It's quick and short and to the point. And what did you do specifically that impacts your potential for earning income? There are so many activities that people do that are a waste of time. I mean, how many people, send jokes through email? Who cares? Why would you even spend the time doing that? Does that impact your income?
Right.
Heck, no.
Right.
And there's no personal volume. There's no PV in TV either.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't care if we didn't have cable at all,
right.
because I don't have time for that. I'm too busy training, teaching, supporting, 3-way calls, all the stuff that it takes to have a strong business that's moving forward
right.
instead of moving backwards.
So one of the things that before we get to the fun little 9 quick questions here is and it's another piece of pure gold you've thrown out there, and is that I remember really early on you had coached me, and we thank you for it because we're living here beachfront in Kauai because of some of these pearls you gave us early. Thank you for all your help and guidance. But you said, why are you worried about your upline motivating you? Why don't you motivate your upline by getting busy and keeping them so busy with 3-way calls they'll feel they have a hot molecule? And obviously that action and activity and accountability, you drilled that into my head. I learned at least enough of it to pay the rent here for next month, so we're good to go. So thank you. Let's get to some fun.
You're being much too humble, Mark. But the reality is we are each the CEO of our own business. And the only one that's responsible for the success or failure is the person in the mirror.
Right, right.
Because if you do enough of the right things, you can't fail.